Peace, namaste, and good morning, everyone, or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world, or even evening. Buddha nature. Before you obtain it, before you attain it, it's something special. After you obtain it, it's nothing special. Shunryu Suzuki, what does this mean? He goes on to say, in the Pari-Nirvana Sutra, Buddha says everything has Buddha nature. But Dogen reads it this way. Dogen is a famous Zen master. Dogen reads it differently. He says, everything is Buddha nature. The Buddha says everything has Buddha nature. Dogen says everything is Buddha nature. There's a difference. If you say everything has Buddha nature, it means Buddha nature is in each existence. So Buddha nature and each existence are somehow different. But when you say everything is Buddha nature, everything is the divine, it means everything is the Buddha nature itself. Everything is divine itself. Everything is sacred itself. Buddha nature is your essential self. So when you obtain it, it's nothing special, meaning it's just you, your consciousness. Meditation isn't about obtaining or attaining enlightenment. It's discovering who you already are, your own Buddha nature, your own Christ consciousness, your own divine panentheism, the divine living inside you is you. There is no difference in heaven, in the core nature of our being, in the essential image of ourselves, in the origin of who we are, in our original goodness. It is the goodness itself with a capital G. And once after you become enlightened, once it's obtained, it becomes normalized. And so it's not special anymore because everything then becomes the divine presence. It's seen everywhere and everything all the time. And so it's not really super special anymore. It just is true nature. So I talk about how when I came back, everything had light inside it. I talk about how I was living inside the world and the world looked ugly and darkness to me, and it did. But inside everything, the divine nature still was present to me. And the longer I practice, the more I empty myself, the clearer that becomes, the light itself inside of everything. That's the purpose of practice. It isn't to obtain enlightenment. It is just to become who you already actually are. Your true nature, your Christ consciousness, your Buddha nature, this thing which you already are, which we are already all of us. We're not trying to obtain something, not trying to gain something. We're trying to lose something. We're losing that which is not actually us and gaining that which actually is us. That's missaid. We're not actually trying to gain anything. That's becoming more apparent. That's really what I mean. As we lose ourselves, that which is we already are, becomes the dominant inside us, becomes larger and larger inside us. We see it more clearly. We live in it more clearly. And then it pervades our entire lives. You know how when you meditate, or when you miss a day or 2 or 3 of meditation, that peace that you carry around with you as a result of meditation begins to fade, begins to get less? The opposite of that is true. The more we practice over years, weeks, days, months, years, decades, the clearer that becomes, the more the essential nature of who we are becomes evident to us, the less our false self has dominance. Our Buddha nature, our true selves, becomes present to us. I talk about the temple inside the heart, which is where the goodness, the capital G, lives, is who we are at our core. Because ultimately, there is no separation between the divine self and us. We are that self. We are, with a capital S, we are that divine self. And that's what meditation reveals to us our true nature, our Buddha nature, our essential nature, our universal nature. And the longer you practice, the more you practice, the more that becomes real, it becomes evident. And so it's not really about obtaining anything or attaining any goal, so much as it is a loss of self, of false identity, and the realization of true self, the recognition, remembrance of that which you already actually are. And that's why we practice year after year, to get more and more clarity, to grow more and more. So your Buddha nature is who you are already. And you find that by stripping away that which is not your Buddha nature. That's pretty much it for the little chat this morning. I'm going to say hi to folks I haven't. Hi, Janet. Hi, Nancy. I'm glad you all are here. So let's join together. If you have any comments, let me know. If that's helpful, let me know. If it's not helpful, let me know. Because part of what I'm trying to do every single time we meet is to give you a little more information, a little more knowledge about what meditation leads to, what it brings forth, what it shows and reveals over long periods of practice. So thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing. That's super helpful. The great algorithm that is YouTube loves to see that. And I'm making sure all my sounds are down. The birds are pretty loud this morning. I'm going to turn them down even further. They're right outside my windows. All right, I'm going to put on my clock for 20 minutes. We begin with 3 ohms. If you're joining us for the first time this morning, Tim says, the meditation is the pillar of the mountain. It is. If you're joining us this morning, we chant 3 ohms with our heart chakra and our throat chakra and our third eye, right up. And we then drop into our centering practice, breath and focus and a chant. It's very zazen-like. All right, my friends. See you in 20 minutes. Settling in. Relax your feet and your legs and your thighs. Think about it. Relax your back and your shoulders, your neck. Thanks for being here with me this morning. Peace and blessings to everybody, to Nancy, Susie, and Chuck, Jay, and Tim. Yeah, you can hear the frogs outside. The windows are actually closed. They're pretty loud this morning. I hope that's okay with everybody. Peace and love, everybody. The microphones are off. See you Sunday. Thanks, everybody. Peace and love.